This playthrough is rated M for mature.
Greetings and salutations, viewers. Vauldemare back here with another episode of Will, A Wonderful World. In the last episode, we helped Jimmy survive a serial killer and the tennis girl survive a trip up to the mountain. And then, depending on what choice you made, they either got together with the old man or didn't. Right now, we're playing the results of what happens if they didn't get together because he was too old, dying of lung cancer and stuff like that. Unfortunately, he survived a few years and then got his hand crushed and it died, passed out, and whatever. So let's not have him die like that. Or if he has to die, let it be like a bit more like not as painful. So anyway, what do we got? Okay, so he's only got 4, so that shouldn't take too long at all. All right. Okay, that sounds right. At least for what reaction anyway. I had gone so long without any water, my body was seriously dehydrated. I had to drink my own urine, hoping to survive until I could be rescued. Or urine, however you pronounce it. Even though I had been submerged inside the darkness, I could still sense every sunrise and sunset. Whenever the sun went down, the night chill would surround me, along with a growing desperation. I felt something near my hand. It seemed to be a piece of paper hanging out of a bag. It was one of the paintings from my old collection. I put the painting in front of my nose. I started to see the vague shape of the painting. I thought that got ripped up. Anyway, it was a quick sketch from my teaching days in Beijing. It wasn't really an piece of art. The subject of the painting was a girl. She was holding a pencil and drawing. Her face was tightened and up, thinking about her strokes. She was actually drawing me, and not very well, by the way. I had carried this sketch with me everywhere I went. I thought he tore it up, though. Maybe he pulled it back out and put it back together or something. Or no, I thought she tore it up, but then maybe he went back in and taped it back together. I would take it out and look at it whenever I was resting. I'd wondered if I should draw another one, but eventually decided not to. The sketch, even the paper itself, was one of my most precious memories. I wanted to live. Well, maybe you live. I don't know. That doesn't really tell us much on that ending if you survived or not. So, oh well. Let's go with that one. Buddy, there. Come on. This voice. I can never forget this voice ever. Hey there, please respond. I must have started hallucinating. My mind went back to my teaching days 3 years ago. The girl that had chosen to be my assistant just because I wanted to go home early. She was yelling my name. She was angry at me that I had torn up her friend's sketch. I did not know that we had already met the night before. If a person could still live in his own memory after death. I wish I could return to that moment and freeze time. If I could turn back time, then I would look at her, do nothing but just look at her until the end of time. A small pebble fell on my head. I opened my eyes. The light coming through the crack had blinded me, as I hadn't seen light for so long. The crack was becoming bigger and bigger until my face was completely exposed in the sunlight, and then he burns up like a vampire. I could see the person who was closest to me, but only their silhouette. Still, it looked incredibly like her. How could it be possible? The silhouette stopped moving. It seemed to be hesitating. How? You can hear me? Can you move your hand? It sounded like her. Even though I knew it couldn't possibly be her, I still teared up, unable to control myself. I struggled to raise my left hand. She reached out with her hand. Don't let go. Hold on. Now keep your eyes on me. ... Hold on. Keep your eyes on me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so scared. Don't be scared. I would never leave you on ever. Don't be scared. I would never leave you on. Or don't be scared. I'll never leave you on ever. Or something like that. I don't know. I held her under her hand tightly as I could with all the strength I had left. Even if it was just illusion, I would never let her go again. I'm sorry I've broken my word. For the last 3 years, I had thought about what I would say to her if I ever got to meet her again, so many times in my head. I practiced all of the various scenarios I could think of, and in the end, all I was able to mutter was mere sorry. She didn't respond, but I could feel her shaking. I took a deep breath. Could you give me another chance to love you? After 3 days without water, I body was severely dehydrated. I had smashed my paralyzed right hand and drunk my own blood in order to survive. Fortunately, I had been found by the rescue team just in time. However, my right hand had been severely damaged and had to be amputated. However, I didn't feel too bad about losing my right hand. But that was my J.O. hand, man, because she had come back in my life. She was the sun of my life. She had brought me so much hope. I felt like there was nothing I couldn't overcome as long as I could see her next to me every day. Bless you, God. Blessed him for this? Alright, well, I guess you're alive. I guess that's the best thing, so. Anyway, we got a few trophies for doing that. Hooray! And then before we continue... oh, wait, we got the A, and I still gotta get the S ending. Before we continue on really quick, I just want to show something on the profiles. Because we unlocked, like, Miss Yang and the new guy. Huh. Nah, it's probably nothing. I just wanted to show that we unlocked a few new character things. Anyway, back to that. Let's do the... oops, nope. Now let's get the S ending this time. Alright. Okay. And I'll guess S ending. The ending wasn't too bad. Apparently they found each other and then he just got his hand amputated, so I mean, like I said, he's still alive. Please okay, this voice. So what's the difference between this and the A ending then? Is she angry? If a person could still freeze time, I would look at her, just do it. Okay. If the crack was bigger. How could it be possible? Move my hand. Yeah, it's like maybe it was one of those cases where she, because he was teaching, found out about him and then just kind of kept tabs on him, and then heard about the area he's in. He's like, oh no. I'm not really sure what the difference is. Maybe it's at the very end of it or something. Another chance to love you. Okay, here we go. 1 year later, a new piece of mine was on display at the Beijing Exhibition Center. I named this piece The Sun. A lot of people had asked me, wouldn't The Sunrise be a more appropriate title? I would always respond with a smile. Yes, to the others, the piece was about sunrise, but to me it was about the most important thing in my life. It was the sun, not the sun. I glanced at the girl to my right who was staring at the painting quietly. I put my arm around her shoulder. It started snowing outside the center. The pedestrians all stopped and marveled at the scene. No one had ever seen snowing in the middle of the summer. Yet while the snow kept getting heavier, the sun was still shining blindly in the sky. My eyes squinted at the bright glare, and I held onto her hand even tighter. We both smiled. God had really blessed me. Did he? Has he? Really? No. Anyway, so we get the S rank for him. But that's not the ending we want. Let's go with what if he just given into his balls and just decided to go all the way with A Journey Alone. A Journey Alone? I don't like the sound of that, but it's probably what needs to happen. In the subway train, an old blind woman raised a well-worn metal mug to my face. An old man who looked like her husband was helping her from behind with one hand. His other hand was holding a worn-out speaker. He was playing My Happiness Be With You. Beijing had banned solicitation on the subway, but these beggars could still often be seen in the cars. Nobody wanted to be the bad guy or feel guilty, so I would report them to the authorities. I put $5 in the mug. You don't use bucks, you use like won or wong or whatever. I usually wouldn't do something like this, but I just wanted them to leave me alone today. No, have you ever seen the South Park episode? Change! You got change! And they just keep bugging you. Besides the beggars, there were only a few other passengers in the train car. My mother and the son who had just come back from an amusement park. A couple were laughing while looking at their tablet. A salaryman who apparently had just gotten off work. He was telling his honey on the phone to go to bed without him. I felt so envious. I didn't want to go home, because even at home I'd still be alone. The car was quiet except for the occasional chit-chatting, the wheels running along the tracks and the PA system announcing the stops. The next station is Station B. The next station is Station G. Station G is transfer station. Passengers from another line, please prepare to get off. The next station is Station A. Station A is transfer station. Passengers from another line, prepare to get off. The next station is Station P. Get the fuck off. I wasn't sure how many stations it had been since I got on the train. At B station near home. or station B near home. I didn't bring much of anything with me. Perhaps I should keep going until I reach the final destination of the countryside. I had enough money on me to buy another ticket to Tai-in Jin. I could go and watch the ocean there. Last time I had gone was when I was in elementary school. I had remembered that I had gone with my father that time. Perhaps this time I wouldn't be coming back. I lay down in the chair next to me and raised my left hand in front of my eyes. The fluorescent lights on the ceiling shone through my fingers as if they were blinking. The ring on my finger seemed to be fading out. God, were our fates already determined or not? Was it really something that could be changed? He went. What does it mean? Is this like years after she'd been together with when he died of cancer, maybe? Oh, anyway, let's solve this mystery with a history map. What the? Huh. Okay. What do we got here? So we have to find the right map to get to the best ending? That seems a little weird. Okay, so A can turn around. It looks like F can move, K can move, M can move, G can move, H can move, D can move, J can move. Okay. And O can move. I was like, where's this map thing coming from? Alright, so we just have to figure out how to get to the right place, I guess? Alright. Alright, what are my options here? Okay, so... P... That should be... Get me something. Or at least that'll give me a direction anyway. I stayed in the subway, changing from one line to another, hesitating. I finally decided to go home. It was already dark when I came out of Station B. It wasn't a highly populated neighborhood. The only reason he and I decided to live here was because the rent was cheaper. The grass was tall near the exit and the street lights were a little dim. I walked down the streets and watched my own shadow getting longer and longer. Yeah, according to this, it sounds like they did eventually get married and stay together, at least until the cancer got him. Suddenly another shadow appeared next to mine. For a split second, I fantasized that it was his shadow. A wet cloth was put over my nose and mouth, and a very strong smell. Does this smell like chloroform to you? My brain stopped functioning. I was lost in darkness. She got caught again. After all these years, some random dude came up and just got her and probably killed her, molested her, or whatever. So, good choice there, dude. Alright, anyway. Alright, well, let's try the better option this time. Apparently we sent her to a dangerous place. Perhaps this will give us a better result. My phone just buzzed again. Another complaint from another customer whining about the quality of my goods. What business is she in at this point? Oh, please, what kind of quality do you expect from something that cost you $5? I got off the train at the random station. I'd had enough. I didn't know how to keep living like this. There were a few people in the station. The next train was 5 minutes away. I stood there on the platform, completely still, for 5 minutes, until the headlights of the train blinded me. I jumped up and landed on the railway. Oh, good. Of course, that's the only way to solve your problems. I learned one thing. Those movie scenes where a person gets hit by a train and then time flies in the air were all lies. Jesus, Gabe. It's like, no, it killed me instantly. No slowing down time. Yeah, no. How were you able to tell us that? Oh, right. Letters to God or whatever. But still. Okay. All right, let's try to get something happy for once in here. Well, actually, we did have a sort of happy thing with way earlier, but, you know, something a little bit more without the... I assume what happened is her Wen had just died or something like that, maybe like not too long ago, and she just couldn't handle it anymore, at least depending on what train route you take. Well, I finally got home. I went to the apartment carrying a full bag of random goods from the rural shopping mall. The place was a mess. Toys and clothes I still hadn't sold were everywhere. I washed my face, and then 2 apples that were in the fridge. They were the only edible thing in there. I took a bite from one of them and put the other one in front of my photo of Mr. Wen. Hey, how have you been? Hey, how have you been? I'm doing well. I assume that's her the whole time. I'm doing well. I would say this photo every time I came back. Then I would pretend they'd respond and asked about my day, to which I would then reply that I'd been doing well, even though it was a total lie. He'd had the surgery at the same time that I graduated high school. It was a success at first. However, during my freshman year in pre-med, things took a bad turn. The doctors said the cancer cells had spread. So basically what happened is they did the whole situation because she had still head back in high school. So they got together, he got his surgery, and then it came back. So doctors, without telling him, I took a leave of absence from the school to take care of him, and I started living with him. He was always cheerful in the beginning, assuming that there were all kinds of new treatments available. I knew he was just trying to make me feel better. I was still watching him getting weaker and weaker, losing the fight day by day. You knew this would happen when you got to him. He told you he had cancer, so don't... Anyway, cancer was a real monster. We were completely powerless against it. On the same day, 3 years ago, he was gone. Oh, it was 3 years ago? Wow, I'm surprised you... Well, anyway. He was gone, left me all by myself. I had applied to medical school because of him, but I had lost all of my will to continue after he passed away, so I dropped out of school and started working. Since I didn't have my college diploma, all that I could get was some random part-time jobs. I used the spare time to manage an online shop selling small cheap goods, like on Etsy and stuff like that. My earnings could barely cover my monthly rent. Sometimes I literally couldn't afford meals, and I had to shamelessly go and beg for help from Jing, who had only recently gotten a job after graduating from college. Should have listened to your friend, dude. Sometimes I wonder if there was any point in living like this. Well, you can do something about it. The only thing that kept me going there were precious memories of him. I opened the glass door of my cabinet. My notebook was on my right, and all my text messages between him and me. I copied them down into the notebook from my phone. An artist collection book was right next to the notebook. He once took me to an exhibition for the artist. A photo album was placed to its left. I took the album out. The photo of the album was the one with us in the I was wondering if we were ever actually going to see the picture of them that they took in the coffee shop. This was the only one from us before we were officially together. And we had taken many, many more afterwards. There was one with us at New Year's Eve countdown, one with us at the festival, one with him cooking, one with him sleeping, one with him going through chemo, one with him pacing in the hospital yard, and the last one with him smiling weakly at the camera. He seemed to have known that would be the last memory he would ever leave me with. The timestamp said that it had been taken on March 26th, one day before my birthday. It had been the day before my 20th birthday. Wait, he had died before her 20th birthday? Wow. Urban Wanderer. Yeah. I think all those achievements are completing their storylines as well as completing their profiles, I believe. Yeah. So you can tell that's almost it's S. It's optional. Okay. So if we look at I guess I could show the portraits of them since their stories are complete, or profiles, I mean. Alright, so let's see. Confidential. Relationship level 1, Li Wen, student crush. Relationship 2, Yang Ying, childhood best friend. Relationship 3, fiance died of age 95 when Wen was 25. At 35, attempted suicide at home by burning holes in a sealed room, saved. At 35, became the art teacher at Yingnan High School. 35, robbed. Fainted due to exhaustion, discovered and saved in time by a neighbor. Diagnosed with cancer, resigned from Yingyan High School, worked for less than a year. 37, died of cancer. Huh. Okay, maybe there is one more thing somewhere, because it says that he has a little star there, so usually that means they're... Okay, so we haven't finished his, specifically. We must have finished hers, though. Yeah. Favorite sport tennis. Favorite toy, Sir Spy stuffed doll. Favorite drink, chocolate milk. 13, age... Father passed away. 17, broken into someone's home. The owner did not press charges. 18, rumored to be involved with a school teacher as well as living with them. Passed out due to dual school gastritis. 18, hospitalized due to acute gastritis. Trespassed on Shulan Mountain, which her hair covers that muscle bit, which was closed due to landslides. No charges were pressed by the park rangers. Age 19, took a leave of absence for university middle school. 20, dropped out completely. And then her husband, I guess they got married or maybe we were together, but man, her ending's kind of depressing when you think about it. I mean, I guess Wen's kind of good path here is kind of more because then it doesn't go into the details of him dying of cancer, all that other stuff. But yeah, this path, she's like, man. Anyway, since we got some time, let's play as Jimmy. Key of Fortune. Yeah, we should have enough time to finish his little storyline. So, I'm sorry, just checking out real quick. Quick look at me timer. I reached out for Sir Spotty body pillow, but it wasn't there. You have a... Why would you want a body pillow Sir Spotty? Shouldn't it be of some random anime chick or something? I shook my dizzy head and sat up in my bed, trying to remember what happened last night. I had been chased by a strange masked person on my way to the supermarket. The man seemed determined to kill me. I finally got away thanks to a landslide just off the road. I was completely exhausted when I came back and fell asleep as soon as my head touched the pillow. However, this was clearly not my own room. I sat up. The flinty dust must made me sneeze a few times. I turned around and saw that there was clearly a human-shaped mark on the old sofa bed. The rest of it was all covered with dust. Some of the furniture was covered with cloth and messily arranged in the corner. There were no windows in the room, only a locked gate. I appeared to be in the warehouse. The only source of light was a dim desk lamp on a wooden table that had one leg shorter than the others. There was also an hourglass and a used syringe on the uneven tabletop. A note was placed in the hourglass. You were pretty lucky yesterday, but can you still find the key to your fortune today? This time the game is timed, so please be aware of your time limit. If it's game over for you, I'll be very sad. Smiley face. The note was signed with a smiley face. Smiley face? No, this was not just a smiley face. This was Pi? P-I? Oh, the infamous serial killer, Pi. Really? Or P or Pi? I'm going to say P because Pi would be P-I-E, so P. Great, that sounds better. 2 years ago, an extremely bizarre murder case had taken over the news for a while. A 30-something-year-old man died in a bathtub of his own house. Of his own house? A 30-something-year-old man in the bathtub of his own house. Died in the bathtub of his own house. Oh, okay, I guess it makes sense. To be more accurate, he didn't die there. His body was placed there. All 24 pieces of it, each of them meticulously sliced. The blood had been drained, and the entire bathroom was totally spotless if it had just been cleaned by a specifically trained crew. The only clue left at the scene was a smiley face drawn with a marker on one of the pieces of the body. Even more bizarre, the man was a divorced father who had been living with his 10-year-old son. After his death, the son told the police that he'd been abused by his father multiple times. It reminds me of another game that I'm not going to say because it kind of ruins the... Actually, it doesn't ruin the plot because... No, it kind of does, so I won't say it, but there is another detective game that has a very similar plot in it that focuses more around that specifically. But I'm not going to say it, just to not spoil it, just in case if you haven't played it yet. In fact, he claimed that he remembered the exact number of times that it happened, 24 times. Was it just a coincidence? Was this smiley face killer some kind of eventual angel of justice? The media started to spin the story, adding their own imagination and speculation. For a while, all kinds of articles about justice and evil were all over both legitimate and a gossip newspaper alike. I don't want to say that was Chang if I knew better. As the police were completely lost with the case, a similarly strange yet wildly different case happened. A drug-addicted pub singer who was known for frequently abusing his girlfriend and causing multiple miscarriages was found dead in the backstage of the bar where he usually performed. The crime scene was very clean and showed no signs of a struggle. They were only able to identify the traces of blood on the floor using luminol. I actually know what that is because of Phoenix Wright. Luminol, CH7N3O2, is a chemical that exhibits chemiluminescence with a blue glow when mixed with an approximately oxidizing agent, usually a solution containing hydrogen peroxide, H2O2, and hydrogen hydroxide ions and water is activator that could activate luminol to exhibit its luminescence. When such a solution encounters blood, the iron present in hemoglobin functions as a catalyst, which helps the hydrogen peroxide decompose to form oxygen and water. The oxygen then reacts with the luminol dianion, which is produced by luminol and hydroxide ion. The product of this final reaction is unstable organic peroxide, which exhibits the blue glow. Luminol solution is therefore often used in forensics investigations as sensitive to 1 ppb of blood, so blood stains that have been washed away can still be detected. By the way, the solution can also have the same reaction to urine and fecal matter as well. Hooray! His vocal cords have been ripped away from his body. Meanwhile, cassette tape was found inside the body. Inside? Kind of reminds me of Seven. The tape was a recording of the singer's own voice, but completely off-key. A smiley face was drawn upon the tape. Afterwards, the police referred to the suspect with the codename P, because the smiley face looked a lot like the symbol. Oh, it is supposed to be pi then. Never mind then. If it was rotated. They referred to They tried to prevent all information regarding Pi from leaking, yet somehow the media kept finding more and more juicy stories. So I bet this is happening to him because of the rumors of him being a pedophile, even though they're not true. God, some elementary school kid's gonna get us killed because, he lost at a game. Actually, people swatted people for less reasons. So they soon summarized several characteristics that were shared amongst Pi's victims. 1. Sadistic. 2. Male. 3. Some kind of abnormal perversion. For instance, a middle-aged man who was extremely in S&M that started targeting neighborhood children. A man who always cheated on his partner and then beat them up when he ended the relationship. An elementary school principal who was a pedophile and molested his own students. Molested the students? It was as if a bomb had just gone off in my brain. It must be because of that goddamn gossip article. He was after me for the wrong reason. However, I had no other choice but to find him so that I could explain myself. I read the note again. I rolled up my sleeve to examine my arms, and I found it. There was a tiny bluish needle mark on my arm. It reminds me of Saw 2, actually. Crap, there wasn't much time left. The warehouse gate had been secured by an ancient-looking lock. The lock was covered with carved markings and seemed quite heavy and sturdy. There was a keyhole in the center of it. It seemed to be a challenge. A challenge? You must make your way down the slide, find the antidote, go through the locked key, and soon you will be in the temple of the shrine of the silver monkey. To make things worse, it wasn't that I couldn't find the key. A chest had been placed right next to the gate. It was filled with keys, and lots of them in all kinds of shapes. God damn it. I flipped the chest to the ground desperately. All the keys poured onto the ground in a chaotic flood of metal. There must be thousands of them. About half of the sand was still in the top half of the hourglass. I probably only had approximately 1 hour left. Even if I could try one key every 3 seconds, I'd only gone through less than half of the keys. However, I had no time to waste, and I had to start trying them one by one, even though I had no idea what to do next. 50 minutes had passed. I inserted another key into the keyhole. Yet, the god of fortune had never favored me ever since I was a little kid, except all the times we messed with your letters to make... whatever. The final grains of sand had dropped in a small dune at the bottom half of the hourglass. Excruciating pain exploded in my chest. I couldn't even hold the key in my hand anymore. I dropped the key into the pile, made a clinking sound, and I collapsed into the pile. I must have completely wasted my time watching all those crime investigation thriller movies. All I could think of right now were the scene where the victim died. I couldn't even remember even a single scene where the heroes escaped because of their intelligence. It hurt so much that I crawled into a ball on the ground. My mind was almost gone, and I felt warmth beneath my nose. I wiped my face with my hand. Blood. I hope this isn't Chris's blood. It was over. I was going to die in a godforsaken place that no one would ever know about because the psycho killer got the wrong guy. Jimmy. You got the wrong guy. I'm not the man you want. You know that's not true. No, we only have 3 things to find. Okay, I'll extend the episode to try and find this. Try to finish it off, so why not? Alright, what do we got? 4 options. Okay. Let's see. If we do this... that should get us something. Yeah, since we're doing so many, I'll just finish it. I was going to stop here for the episode, but... yeah. There's still not the right key, but I noticed something strange this time. I held the lock closer to my face and tried another key, in and out. A dim red light flashed inside the keyhole. It must be a wireless sensor. This is not a regular mechanical lock. Oh, good. I took out my PDA and started scanning for nearby devices. I'm surprised he let him keep that stuff. Bluetooth, infrared, Wi-Fi, anything. Finally, I saw a server name, Loco Fluck, appear on my PDA screen. Oh, Lock of Luck. Okay. Took me a second. But I needed 15 minutes to crack the administrative password. The final grain of sand had dropped into the bottom half of the hourglass. An excruciating pain exploded in my chest. The letters on the PDA were getting more and more blurry. I dropped the PDA into the pile of the keys. It made a clinking sound and collapsed into the pile. About warmth beneath the nose. Blood. Damn it. I found it too late. And we died. Multiple times. Alright. Well, that didn't work, so let's try... well, that escalated quickly. Alright. Let's swap that and see what happens. I don't think that's the answer, but it'll be close. The user had been granted administrative privileges. After 50 minutes, I finally cracked the administrative password. The lock was actually an electronic lock that just looked like just a mechanical one. It was connected wirelessly to a remote server named Lock of Luck through a nearby router. The server was the real key of luck. The program that controlled the lock had been set to unlock when there had been 2,000 attempts with any key. However, no one in this fucking world could do 2,000 times in an hour. Hey, never mind. That bastard almost had me fooled. I spent a little bit more time changing the 2000 to 1 in the program, re-executed the program. Now all I had to do was try it one more time and I could finally get it out. However, just when I was about to insert the key in the hole, excruciating pain exploded in my chest. I couldn't even hold the key in my hand anymore. I dropped the key into the pile. It made a clicking sound and collapsed in the pile. The final grain of sand had dropped to the bottom half of the hourglass. Damn it, I'm so close. The end. Alright, one more time. Poor Jimmy. All you wanted to do was get close to this one chick and then be good at Street Fighter, and then this had to happen to you because of some craziness. Yeah. Alright. That should get us, that should give us the time we need. Excellent. Yes. Beep. The lock opened with a crisp electric beep. Yes, thank God. I finally fooled that by... I hadn't been fooled by how it looked. I wiped the sweat off my forehead with my sleeve and disconnected the wireless connection between my PDA and the lock. 50 minutes ago, I had a sudden epiphany after trying a few keys without success. I took out my PDA and tried to scan for nearby devices. That was how I found my chance to survive. The lock was actually an electronic lock that looked like a mechanical one. It was connected wirelessly to a remote server named Lock through a nearby router. The server was the real key of luck. To have laid out such a trap, it could only mean one thing. Pi had secretly investigated me and knew that I was a hacker. That bastard almost had me fooled. It took me 50 minutes to crack the administrative password for the server. Then I was able to find the program that controlled the lock. The setting on the program indicated that the lock would only be opened if there was 2,000 attempts. In other words, it didn't matter which key I tried. All I needed to do was try 2,000 times with the key. However, no one in this fucking world could do 2,000 times in an hour, except a hacker. There, emoji face. I pushed open the gate. The humid air and the clean night sky made me feel like I had never felt it before. A paper bag was taped to the other side of the gate with a note reading, Antidote 1. I don't know why it's saying Antidote 1. That kind of reminds me of a crappy RPG maker game. In the game, there was a syringe filled with some unknown liquid and a car key. Are you fucking kidding me? Antidote 1? That bastard. An excruciating pain exploded in my chest. I had no choice but to inject the first antidote into my arm. I had to keep going. I had to find him. I struggled to stand up, sweating all over my body, and pressed the button on the key fob. A beeping sound came from the car not too far away. The headlights blinked twice. Looks like the rest of Jimmy's story is going to be trying to survive this this serial killer. So I married an axe murderer. Well, looks like Jimmy's getting out of this way, but he's not done yet. It looks like we're going to learn a little bit about Willie and the girl here. Find out what we learn next time on the next episode of Will, A Wonderful World. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.